This video we are going to talk about top 10 most haunted places in the world. While some may appear a touch cheesy, with actors dressed as ghouls, goblins, mad scientists, and Frankenstein's monsters, there are several places throughout the world with a reputation for being haunted, so we've compiled a list of the world's 30 most haunted sites. Some of these locations are cloaked in mystery, with centuries-old legends. Others are considerably newer, yet they have tragic histories. Whether these locations date from the 12th or 20th centuries, they all have a fascinating past, complete with ghost sightings and unsettling encounters. Ghost hunters all over the world are always hoping to see a ghost walking down a haunted corridor, hear intriguing conversations in an empty room, or even experience a chill when researching a dark passageway. Fortunately, there are a number of allegedly haunted locations that are open to the public for tours or even overnight stays. There's a haunted house, hotel, or old historical landmark waiting for you to explore no matter where you are in the world. There are enough spooky spots in the United States to send shivers up your spine, from California to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, but there are also plenty of spooky sites across the pond. Ghosts, weird sounds and lights, and even as far as Australia, the Philippines, and China have been reported at these well-known locations in the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Romania, and even Australia, the Philippines, and China. Read on for 16 of the world's most haunted locations, ranging from old jails to abandoned asylums to eerie old houses if you dare. Number 1. Myrtle Plantation, USA. The Myrtle Plantation, rumored to be built on the site of an ancient Indian burial place, has been labeled one of America's most haunted estates. According to legend, the mansion has been the scene of 10 murders. A ghost of a former slave wearing a green turban has been seen, as well as a haunted mirror said to house the souls of Sarah Woodruff and her children who once lived there. The apparition of William Winter, who was reputedly shot on the front porch, is equally eerie. His spirit has been seen crawling up the steps, and disappearing into thin air at the 17th step, writhing in anguish from the bullet wound. Isn't it spooky enough? Number 2. The Toll Booth, Aberdeen, UK. The Toll Booth in Aberdeen has a shady history, having served as a prison for Jacobite revolutionaries in the mid-1700s, and then as a holding facility for stolen children sold into slavery in the American colonies. The sounds of rattling chains, glimpses of unexplained white mist, and a tight feeling around visitors' necks are among the reports of paranormal activity. Number 3. Pluckley Village, Kent, UK. With an estimated 12 to 16 spirits, this Kent village was previously dubbed the most haunted settlement in England by the Guinness Book of World Records. There's a highwayman who was stabbed with a sword and pinned to a tree, and he's claimed to haunt a spot called Fright Corner. After nightfall, keep an eye out for the Red Lady, a ghost who haunts the churchyard. Number 4. Alcatraz, USA. Visitors, former inmates, and guards have reported paranormal activity at Alcatraz, which housed some equally iconic inmates, including mobster Al Capone. In the 1980s, while waiting for a tour group, Leon Whitey Thompson, a former inmate who later provided tours of the jail, claimed to see a big, looming figure at the end of Michigan Avenue, which he believed was the ghost of an inmate he had been friendly with named Johnny House. Other visitors have reported hearing cries and wailing, while tourists in San Francisco recently captured a woman's figure through a cell window. Number 5. Arrowdale Asylum, Ararat, Victoria, Australia. The Arrowdale Asylum, dubbed a town inside a hamlet, is a massive institution that first opened its doors in 1867. More than 13,000 people are thought to have died there, and not all of them died of natural causes. Nurse Kerry's spirit is said to haunt the women's wing, according to tours of the site. Unexpected feelings, being touched, feeling cold, drafts moving through the building for no apparent cause, and loud bangs from portions of the structure that are empty have all been reported by visitors. Number 6. Devil's Pool, Babinda, Queensland, Australia. Devil's Pool, a natural pool surrounded by boulders, is said to have been cursed by an Aboriginal lady who drowned herself after her boyfriend was taken away from her. Since 1959, it is estimated that 17 people have perished there as a result of falls or slips, or as a result of being caught in fast-moving currents that can trap people in rock chutes. Number 7. Banga Fort, Rajasthan, India. Banga Fort, also known as Boot Bangla, the Fort of Ghosts, was a small city comprised of temples, gates, and palaces at the foot of a mountain until it was abandoned in 1783. The fate of Banga is explained by two stories: a curse from a holy man who forbade the height of the structures to be higher than his own, and a curse from a king who banned the height of the buildings to be higher than his own. He is reported to have cursed the entire town, after one building threw a shadow over his own residence. Another legend tells of a wizard who lusted after the princess of Banga. The spiteful wizard cursed the city, after the princess foiled his spell to have her fall in love with him. Today, it is stated that anyone who enters the city at night will never leave, and paranormal activity is centered around the Dance's Haveli, Dance's House, and Johari Bazaar, Marketplace. Number 8. The Ancient Ramen, Wootton under Edge, UK. Guests queue up to be terrorized by screaming and moving furniture at this restaurant and hotel, which was built in the 1100s. The property's current owners think it was built on a pagan burial place, where infants were sacrificed. Caroline Humphreys, who has lived in the house for almost 30 years, is used to seeing people running from visions of a tiny girl, child cries, and feelings of being forced down onto the bed by a male demon. Number 9. Lewang Sewu, Indonesia. Lewang Sewu is a Javanese word that means thousand doors in reference to the building's architectural design. It, like the Penang War Museum, was taken over by the Japanese during World War II, and the building was transformed into a prison, with executions taking place in the basement of Building B. People come here to see the spirit of a young Dutch woman, who is claimed to have committed herself in the building, as well as headless ghouls strolling around, and a kuntilanak, a vampiric ghost in Indonesian and Malay mythology. Number 10. Mary King's Close, Edinburgh, UK. There is a maze of little tunnels and alleyways beneath Edinburgh's old town, where sellers would hawk their wares for people in the 1600s. Because Edinburgh was so densely populated, the close was particularly hard hit when the plague struck. It was locked off from the public in the 18th century, after being abandoned, and legends of hauntings began to circulate. A guided tour of the close is now available. A tour guide has claimed scores of incidents of people feeling unwell, having their hands grabbed, or experiencing unexpected shivers. The same guide has even had a coin, or tiny metal object hurled at him as he was exiting a room. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.